Well, that was terrifying. I almost dropped my laptop. It was almost slid right off my lap onto the floor. That is one thing that I cannot afford to break. I can handle some stranger crashing into my car, but if something happens to my laptop, oh my goodness, because this is how you survive in this day and age is social media and connection and people and stuff like that. So anyways, uh, I made this cafe. I initially started working on this cafe because I wanted the house next door with the do goods. I wanted them to be able to come over here and check the community board because the Katie is a civil designer, so she needed to be able to check a community board and like talk to people. And so I was like, I want to have a lot that has a community board next door, and I didn't want it to just be like some boring lot. I wanted it to actually be a community lot that was worth visiting. So that was my initial inspiration for starting this house. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make some kind of thing for people to go to, right? And I didn't quite know right off the bat. So I had to figure out kind of like I wanted to make an interesting shape. I had to figure out the roofing. Yeah, so I figured out the roofing and I made this kind of like bizarre looking shape. I mean, I probably could have done that with some, what do you call it? Uh like windows and stuff like in the roofs, but I didn't. I just did this kind of like closed off thing. I really like that. I think that's a new texture for the roof. Sorry, I'm just like adjusting my lazy boy. That's fine. And try not to drop my laptop again. That's fine. Yeah, so there's the community board, which is kind of like the whole point. And like I kind of approached this too by like putting down a few objects that I thought were cool and things that I wanted to put on the lot. So that was like a little bit different than how I usually approach things. I don't usually just put down objects because I want them to be in the lot somehow. So uh, that was kind of a little bit different. And then I was just, trying to figure out like what was going to make sense for this lot. So I got that really big door there. Um, so I was, I was like a little bit stuck for a little bit on what exactly I was doing, but that's fine. I kind of figured out as I go along. I settled on this like weird blue color for the exterior, and it seems like I don't know if it's just because it's the expansion packs I have right now, but like I seem to be doing a lot of like very cottagey things. Like everything looks very much like cottagey. Um, so that's fine. That's cool. I'm happy with that. The thing I did there with the I didn't like that the pillars weren't completely covered by the roof, but then at the same time I didn't like that the roof I felt like I needed to keep the roof small because I wanted it to like match everywhere, and then I wanted to have the sunroof on the other side. So that was why I put the trees where the pillars were, but I eventually removed the trees and moved them somewhere else, and then the pillars just disappeared or ate themselves. So, like, I don't even know what happened there, but that's fine. So, yeah, I make this, like, kind of like this little back area where the garbage can was, and then I started trying to light up the top floor, and I decided that I would make it so that the top floor was um, just the cafe part, right? So I threw in some dartboards and started getting the cafe things together to kind of make it have like a cool, I don't know, look like kind of a cool space. I thought maybe I would get like a foosball, but like it didn't really match anything. And I already had the dartboard, so I was like, it's kind of redundant, right? So I did like two different styles of tables, just to give it like a little bit more, I don't know, make it interesting. And then also I use like different chairs with each style of table. So I think that kind of makes it a little bit more fun and playful. And then I just sort of threw in some of these lights. I really love these new lights. Oh yes, and I did add an easel. I was like wondering if I should like include that as one of the lot traits, like improving art skill. But there is an art easel, so that's cool. I'm pretty sure that stays. I don't think I get rid of that. Um, Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with all of this so far. There's like this like yellow red, like this kind of like rustic-ish feel. I don't know if rustic's the right word for it. I decided that I wanted to clutter up the tables a little bit. I wanted to put in like another little mini fridge so that there was like different stuff people could get. And then I wanted there to be rugs and stuff. So I really liked putting that rug down there with the darts because then it like marks out where the bullseyes are happening. So that's kind of like a safety thing almost, I think. And then I found these hanging plants, and I was like, I'm gonna put those by the main entrance and stuff. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna make this kind of like a grand entranceway. I decided. And another thing that like was part of why I was making this lot was that my sim needed to get recycled material, so I also wanted it to have like a little bit of a maker space and recycling, and so you could do kind of like all the main things there that you're able to do with eco lifestyle or whatever it's called, right? I think I end up changing the bathroom a little bit later on. I changed the walls again, but I wanted to get it to at least a playable state. I didn't finish this all in one go. I actually left it for a few days and I was doing other stuff and making other things, and then I just sort of finished it today. I thought about trying to change the positioning of um, the barista place, but I ultimately decided to leave it there because I didn't want to move the other stuff. So that was just kind of laziness on my part, to be honest. But I wanted to make sure that there was kind of like the things that they would need to like run everything right. So I also added a dishwasher and a microwave. So if someone got something from the mini fridge, they could also go there and they could microwave it if they want to buy like a microwavable meal or something, right? And I also put a garbage can right up there too on the second floor, so it was really easy for everything to get cleaned up. So it's not too hard for the Sims that are there. And then yeah, I wanted to add lots of little clutter things and plants and different stuff. I put books on one of the tables so the Sims can read the books. So I was pretty happy about that. Tried to figure out just different things I could put on the tables that would be fun. Had a open notebook. I really love that. I really love the open notebooks. And then I added the pictures as kind of like the final touch. And so then the upstairs is pretty much done. I don't really make any more significant changes. Like I might go up there and tweak some stuff later, but that's pretty much it. And so then the recycler goes there, and I made this little like I don't know, this little space here, and I was thinking that I wanted to have the bubble machines because I love the bubble machines, and then also have like a little yoga space. But I do end up actually moving the bubble machine downstairs and changing this a whole bunch, so this does not end up, how it goes. But I did decide I was going to use these curtains everywhere, and so that was kind of a interesting thing that happened from that experimentation. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do with this grand entranceway? So I'll just throw some nights. We'll just throw some nights there. And then I put these little flower boxes on the outside, and I was pretty happy with that. And I think this may be the point where, yeah, I was happy enough with the game that I actually saved it, left, and played on it a little bit. Um, but I still felt like it wasn't complete yet. So I wanted to come back, and I watched this YouTube video in the meantime by Deligracy, right? They have like 1.14 million subscribers, and she made a video about 5 ways to improve your Sims 4 builds, and I had no idea that you could do this. So I was trying to figure out how to do this thing that she had in that video about making a light-filled basement, right? And so I was trying to figure out how to do that because I wanted to do something kind of cool based off of that idea. And it actually turned out really neat because what I ended up doing is I actually ended up creating an underground pool that goes under the main part of the building. So um, once I understood what I was doing, I was quite excited to be doing this and to kind of like really create this like kind of like this underground space here. And I was like, oh, this is all very this is all very interesting. And so I kind of messed around a little bit trying to decide what kind of shape I wanted to have underground, what I wanted the basement to be like. You know, there was I guess a little bit of thought where I was just thinking, or maybe I wandered away. I should pause this. Does this go on for a while? Oh no. Give me a sec. Okay, I do keep working on the basement. I didn't actually I didn't actually stop for a significant amount of time there, so I'm just gonna keep that in. I don't really feel like going over and re-recording things a bunch of times. I'm still pretty new to making build videos and stuff, so whatever. Like I'm just having a good time. So I didn't really want the ground below to be grass. That really wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want that. I felt like that was not really what would work for this lot. But it took me a while to find the dirt. So for a little while it was grass, and then it was sand, and then eventually I found the dirt that I wanted. And I made this staircase double because the curtain sticks out a little bit, so I don't actually know if the one staircase is usable for sure. But I wanted to make sure that it was at least a little bit, and then I also kind of changed the wall coloring so that it matched the floor above. So there's like a little bit of a transition there. Uh, yeah, I decided to do it like that, and then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna, since I've now made the basement part the same colors as upstairs, I decided that I would add the windows to match, so it actually looks like it's like 3 stories high with these like flower windows, which is actually super duper cute, right? Although at this point you can see I've changed it to the sand, and I just hate the sand. It's not the look I'm going for. And then I'm like, what should I do over here? And then you can see that I'm thinking, and I decide, you know what, I want to make the pool space just a little bit bigger, um, right? And then that's a little bit more awkward to kind of figure that out. I had a door there before, so I had to move that, and try to figure out like, okay, well, how am I going to do this in a way that I like, right? And so then I tested out a couple different patterns before I found the dirt. Anything that had too much texture just did not work, in my opinion, for this spot, right? So I added the diving board and things like that. And then I wanted to put the pillars back, but the trees were there, so I moved the trees around, and I decided that, you know what, I'm just going to let that one have a little bit of overhang to hide the pillars on that side. Um, it doesn't matter that it doesn't match the other ones, because the other ones I was like, do I want to adjust them? And then I decided that I wanted to pull the front area out more so that the community board was under some shade. I thought that that would be nice. I was like, yeah, that would be nice to have some shade. And then I added like another cork board and like a chalkboard, so it could have like, I don't know, the cafe specials or something outside too. So there's like lots of information there, and then added some trees to kind of just like make things more interesting. And then I actually had a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing garden stuff and like overlaying different random garden things. Like it's absolutely one of my most favorite things to do. And so I made this little garden space, and then this little chair bench in the front, and a small area over here. And I was trying to make sure that the community board is still accessible and all that, but I also wanted to make sure that it wasn't boring and I didn't have any dead space, right? Like it's sort of the right amount of clutter in the right places. And then I got the hot tub in, and I added these windows, which I thought were really cool. I have no idea what those are from, and then I added one on the top layer, so at least there's a little bit of consistency dragging that down. Yeah, and I didn't really need to tweak too much about the back. And then this is when I go and I switch this area up. So I decide that, you know what, instead of this being having all that like that bubble machine jammed in there, I think it makes more sense to make like a little like sort of meditation wellness space, right? So you can exercise, or you could meditate, or you could do yoga. And I've recently discovered that I really like overlapping these these like vine things, right? So I was trying to figure out a way to make this area look sort of interesting. I don't know why I put down the zebra first. I just thought it was fun. But then I found something that actually matched the color scheme, and to kind of like pull the space forward, I used the tables to kind of like create like a smoother transition. I don't know. It just made me happy with like the chaos, and then sort of adjusting those guys. I mean, the posters. I wish that there were two different posters that I would put there, but I was like, whatever. I'll just put these two, because the colors kind of come through the carpet, right? So there's the blue, and there's the blue lamps, and there's the orange and the red. So I feel like there is kind of like a color palette that's sort of there, sort of, right? Like kind of like fiery and green, right? So fiery in nature a little bit. So there's like different things going on with that. And then I was starting to be like, okay, well, let's let's make this space nicer, because I think I just kind of like was I hit a creative roadblock before, and that's why I had to stop working on it. But now it's like I was just like, okay, well, let's fill up this space. Let's just do stuff. And I just got really excited about putting down every single rug I could find. Because I love I'm definitely a maximalist. As you can see, I am all about the chaos and the creativity, and so I also decided to make this like little kids play area look a little cute, and there's like the green little rug under there too, so that kind of match with the house, right? So that I was pretty happy with. And then going down to the basement, I decided, I'm going to replicate this bubble machine, but I'm going to try to do different color schemes for the bubbles and for the seats. And so I kind of did that a couple different times and moved them around. It took me a while to figure out which ones I liked, um, and also like try to figure out how to arrange them in a way that um I don't know, didn't like look too cluttered. So I tried this out. I was like, maybe this fireplace here, and I was like, no, that's ugly. And I get rid of that couch too, because it just doesn't work with what I'm doing here. Um, and I do decide, I'm like, okay, well, I do want the fireplace, and then I'm trying to figure out like what kind of art can I put there. I try this with the one bubble machine, and then I put these bookshelves along the wall, which do look great. Um, but yeah, and then I add the lights. I love these lights. I think these lights are great for decorating. They're very decorative. So I just quite enjoy them. And then I again, this is a lot of spa day stuff that I'm pulling forward, right? So I put these like little paths in like little walk space for people, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of cute because it like lines up with the door. And then I kind of moved the the bubble machines accordingly and adjusted the colors, and played around a little bit with the carpet. So there's like each one is a little bit different, and I toned it down a bit so it wasn't so bright. I am a fan of bright things typically, but I'm coming across a lot more muted, I think, because I don't have quite everything that I would want to do a whole bunch of really crazy, colorful stuff. And also, I just, yeah, I don't know, just rambling, I guess. And then I was like, hey, I got to work on doing some landscaping for the for the basement area down here, which was really kind of fun and cute. And I was really excited to have this different space. Like I'm so happy about this basement space and this new trick that I learned to make this like open air basement thing, because it's just like such a cool effect. So yeah, like definitely a big thank you to Deligracy. I don't know if I'm saying that right on YouTube for making that video explaining how to do that, because that was something I didn't know how to do before. I already knew how to make sunroofs. I had figured that out on my own uh, and stuff. And then yeah, I add some fountains and things to kind of give like a little bit more of an exciting feel down there. So it's kind of like the basement is kind of like contained, and um, I'm looking at the whole thing now, and I'm like, what am I missing? And just trying to think about all that. And this is when I go in and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta, add toilet paper rolls to the bathroom, and I decided to change the walls because it's just I actually don't like that wall texture. I wasn't super happy with it, and then yeah, I changed things up in there a little bit, and I was happier with that. So that works. And I thought about, no, I didn't use this tree. Oh, yeah. This is my second thing that I've recorded today, and that water puddle is just there from, I guess, the lot already being used. So we're just going to ignore that. It'll get soaked into the ground, right? So that's not there. We'll just pretend it's not there. It's getting pretty close to being done. I uh I really enjoyed doing the landscaping here, and like, oh, when I made that yellow flower bag, that just made me so happy. Um yeah, super happy with how this turned out, and I was like, you know what, I should probably have a chessboard somewhere. So I stuck that outside, and I figured that'd be a nice thing. Someone could be walking by and they could just sit down and play chess, right? Like in theory. I mean, I know you can't actually do that. You have to be on the lot to play the chessboard, but that's fine. Um, yeah, and so I was pretty happy with, and I tried to look at the different lighting to see what it was, and trying to decide on what I wanted it to be. So I went with uh, it looked like romantic aura, sunny aspect, and teen hangout. So it would be like a fun place for teenagers to go. People feel happy and flirty, and it's like an inspiring space and all those things. So I felt pretty good about that. So I tried to think about the description there. Right, and it's only got the three bathrooms on the main floor as part of that area. So it's pretty good. And I was like, oh wow, this is actually something that looks not too bad. So I was pretty happy with how that turned out in the end. Now I'm really excited to bring my Sims here, because before I was kind of just like, I just wasn't quite happy with it yet. I didn't feel like it had reached its full potential, but I think the addition of the basement area just really brought more life to it, and having the like bubble lounge and the cafe and then this like maker space and wellness zone, it's all very cool, right? So like, and having this little kids space, super happy about that. Right, and I think I just sort of went through the lot again just to make sure, and look at everything, and kind of just soaking it in a bit, because this was a lot of work, right? So then coming down the stairs, you could see the reflection into the bubble lounge, and there's all those books, so you could sit, read a book by the fireplace. You could go do the bubble lounge, and go outside to the pool area. There's two different doors exiting to the pool area, so that's also pretty fun. But then to get from each side, you actually have to swim across, because they're separate, and the pool is like a tunnel from one side to the other, which is, I think, really cool to have the pool go underneath the main entranceway like that. I'm just like, I don't know. I think that's like a really fun thing. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's really cool. I think the way the the little windows underneath there look is good. I'm very happy with all of that. So yeah, it was just at this point, I think, just checking out my work. Um, and I don't have any CC or any mods. So I don't know how to go into like a special camera mode to take really good screenshots. I can just kind of zoom in and explore. But I think that altogether it's like a really fun lot. Um, Good for the whole family to go. I mean, I could have thrown in a porta potty. I could have thrown in a cat litter box, but I mean, toddler, just use your diaper if we're out in public, I guess, because there's not going to be a porta potty. There's probably room. You could probably throw one in the bathroom if you really wanted, but I mean, this is more of like a teen-oriented to thing. Although I don't know if teens should really be going to a bubble lounge, but I don't think it'll stop them. I think they're allowed to, because like It's just bubbles, right? So, yeah, so there's the little corner and the grand entranceway and the gardens underground, the bubble lounge and more of the gardens there, the entrance to the bubble lounge, the maker space, the kids space. The exterior is just gorgeous, and then on the upper level is the cafe area, which is super fun. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. My name is Paint. I do a lot of different things. I'm an artist, so if you want to learn more about me, all my stuff is at paint.gay. The world is a better place with everyone in it. Peace.